We want to get into this match. We want to make it thick, hot, not so much pump, but very much deliver the best Counter-Strike we possibly can.
And almost immediately, pressure put onto middle here from Shox as this pistol round is already roaring and underway. Magis there getting that first kill for Astralis, leaves them a man up. The pressure's back in for Vitality. They're going to try and take B. And the timing on this push is perfect. Xyp9x was holding this for an hour, it feels like. And now, suddenly, it's full of Team Vitality players. Oh, it might not matter. They're getting mopped up. It's left, it's right. But in the end, it's only Apex left standing all alone. A lot to do, but there's the opener onto Magisk. Astralis now, minute and 10 seconds. They try and tuck tail, run into the connector, but this could be the bomb given over. Device, oh dear, but he's helped by Xyp9x, who swoops in and saves the day. Astralis, they'll get that pistol round on the board, and they get off to a good T-side start here on their map pick.
Oh, that was terrifying. So back and forth. The aggression from Vitality after Shox dies in mid as well. That almost nets a lot of success for Vitality. And yeah, it's a good decision that Xyp9x comes back down the connector, saves his teammate who was stuck with the bomb. Device almost loses his life, but Astralis pick up the pistol. Starting things off on the right foot, indeed. Last time we saw these two teams face each other on this map was Battle Katowice, with Alex, of course, in the Vitality roster instead of Masuta. That was where Astralis picked up a dominant win. And talking of dominant, that's a dirty shot.
2 bullets. That's all it takes for Shox. Sometimes just one. In that case, it starts off Astralis in a slower manner in which they'd like to start here on this second round. After picking up that first one, you really don't want to see these rounds escape from you. It really does make just the entire half harder. But again, Overpass, a playground almost, if you think about it, for Astralis. Pop clear there towards water. It's going to be a push off of the bricks. Sandbags, rather, with RPK. Finding a deagle headshot onto Xyp9x, and now things are starting to get worrisome for the Astralis side. Minute left on the clock.
RPK's deagle here, they've spotted it, and this Molotov is going to make things a little bit tricky for RPK. Shox wrapping round, and he might have just bought a fantastic timing. Indeed he has. Glaive is not at all prepared for that. Device comes in to try and clean up shop, but there is mess everywhere right now, and Device, is he going to be able to do anything? That bomb right now is under Vitality control, albeit just barely there on the tip of the bomb site. And Apex is going to mop that one up nice and easily. Vitality, they steal around straight back with a force buy of their own. Astralis, not really knowing to give these over. You imagine they're going to come straight back in with a force buy and continue this little back and forth battle for a little bit longer. That said, we know this is a team that like to work in absolutes. And the only thing absolute in this round is that I'm absolutely sure that they've gone for the investment. They take the investment, they get deagles out, they get weapons. They've got utility behind it, but with so much getting given over to Vitality in that last round, it really does kind of pale in comparison to what the Frenchmen are bringing to the table here.
I wish we had like an organ sound or something, you know? Just play like ballpark tunes. Not completely necessary, but it would be...
We don't have an organ, but I can make my stomach rumble for you, Trace.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. We'll talk about that after the show. Meanwhile, Device, after having found success, they are taking down Shox. It's going to be ultimately removed from the round by Apex's deagle. A deagle for a deagle, or an eye for an eye. I don't really know how that saying goes. I think I was close.
Ooh. Yeah, Masuta will keep this one in the advantage of Vitality, and with that kill, he's alleviated a lot of the pressure in this round, right? Magisk now gonna hang around with the deagle, and Zywoo actually starts to leave B. Now, he's decided against that, and that's probably the right decision, given Astralis have 2 players stacked up here outside of the B site. Magisk, if he's able to get so much as 1 kill and draw a player away from B, then maybe this is doable for Astralis. But with how it stands right now, no one's falling for this fake from Magisk. They're going to keep those 2 players steady down towards the B side of the map. 15 seconds on this clock. The push has got to come in.
No.
Magist, double dig, and that forces both players out of the B site. RPK now turns back. 8 seconds.
Oh, no.
The bomb's dropped. Quickly, Dupree. Quickly. Oh, there's no time.
So close.
There might have been time if he didn't try and run to grab that. I think it was a weapon he was going for the molly. Oh, that's such a shame. That was so close in spite of Magist's best efforts over here towards the A side of the map.
Yeah, Majesk just could have just opened the door for A side at that point. It was a good idea by Astralis, but sometimes it doesn't all go according to plan.
Yeah, RPK, the great awareness. I imagine one of those A players called that, like, even after they died, they still only saw one player, and you should be wary. Astralis, they would have loved to rotate back up, but there were 10 seconds they had to commit with the B site. And even though RPK moves out, he moves just back in the right time, saves the day. Like you said, Harry, if Dupree doesn't pick up that Molotov, he gets a plant and probably wins the round. So, little detail there.
Look at this.
That's a mistake.
This is so awkward.
Ooh. Surprise.
That's one of those things where you're not even sure if the smoke's fully faded or if you're just, you know, maybe hallucinating. But yeah, he was standing that close. It was Shocks. Got really aggro there. Perhaps a little bit of squeak here as we do continue to look at this round. Astralis going to flex towards this long A side. It's not that weird of a flex considering they're rolling 3 deep. But Vitality's going to have some defenders here in this A site. One more squeak out of you, Harry. Is that your shoes?
Yeah, I can do it on command now, apparently.
Great, that is so awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can work that in anywhere. But right now, this round's got to be squeaky clean from Vitality, and it's been anything but thus far. Magist down here toward the short side, maybe a little bit closer than Vitality are ready for Dupree. Same kind of story. He's able to win that fight out there narrowly over Masuta, but this round is slowly but surely falling apart. And now RPK has to make all the difference. They weren't ready though for a triple setup in the toilets, and almost from RPK. He does get dealt with. Apex comes back up, and Astralis, they don't want to run out of time again. Oh, Apex trying to turn away, does get that kill, and now 8 seconds. Dupree once again not able to get this bomb planted. It is a 3rd round for Vitality, and their 2nd back-to-back coming down to the time. These 4 spies, Astralis, they can't keep doing them. That's the only problem they're going to have. Dupree stays alive again, and that's going to tempt them to force again. And that's the thing, they've been getting everyone very, very close into these doable scenarios. But in the back of my mind, you know, it is still Vitality winning them, and in the long run, it's going to hurt Astralis more if they're not able to pick up a round win soon. This could do some real damage to this T side.
And Vitality have actually come out with so much money as well in this round. They've still got an AWP and ZywOo, so Astralis forcing, maybe expecting a little less than this full utility and AWP buy. It is a mess right now. That was a 5-on-2 for Astralis. RPK, what a hero. What a savior. But was it enough? Will it keep Vitality in the lead as Astralis come back in with 2 guns, a couple of MAC-10s as well? Setting up outside the lead on site. We've still got Device keeping an eye on middle, making sure that Vitality don't aggress. And a bit of chip damage here and there coming through from the likes of Astralis. Apex might get flashed into an aggressive position, and they're blind. Easy kill for him. That's an AK gone. Dupree lost it. Needs to be picked back up, and Magist will find it straight away. But it is a small consolation. Still down a man in this round are Astralis. Still split up. And with no direction, what can you even do? Vitality are even swapping setups now as they move Shocks into the bait and switch on long. Supported by the AWP of ZywOo. He had a great previous map on Dust 2 and Shocks. Oh dear, he's looking to take matters into his own hands. He's just caught the timing. Device has missed this, and this could be catastrophic for Astralis again, setting up smokes.
Device is not going to be ready for this angle at all. It's Shocks standing there, ZywOo standing tall in the A site, and now what little bit of a hit they have left is coming on. It's just Zipex, 1v5 with the MAC-10, certainly nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Just trying to stay alive, maybe cause some damage. He can't really even do that, and that's going to be a 4th on the board for the French side.
Vitality took on Spirit on this map the other day. They actually lost that one. That's surprisingly enough, but Spirit looked really, really good on Overpass, to be fair. And funnily enough, that was a series that Vitality lost. The only series they lost was versus the bottom-rated team of this group. Quite a surprise. But not everything has gone as we expected here in the Pro League so far. And Ents, Ents Apex rather, looks to be the unexpected, getting aggressive. I was going to say Ents, it didn't really surprise me either.
They didn't have a whole lot of showing in this Overpass game either. But I will note and comment on the fact of just how stoic Apex looks in that profile photo right there. Look at that. Harry, what do you think?
Man, I would certainly follow him into battle. You know, that's all I could think.
What kind of battle, though? You know, like tridents, talking weapons. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, you know, Trident is a good one. It's like 3 spears put together into 1 spear, if you think about it.
It's the Darth Maul of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, I mean, even then, it's got above and beyond. It's an extra one. And this round,
yeah, the only
it's just pistols for the side of Astralis. They've gotten this 1 kill, but that should really be it, shouldn't it? You're not expecting much more. Vitality haven't been dropping the ball against these 4 spies, so they're certainly not going to do it here against the Deagles. 5-1 lead for Vitality.
Yeah, and they say Siths only deal in absolutes. And in this motion, it was RPK doing the same exact things, shutting another round down here for Astralis. Now, as it stands, Astralis is topping Group A, and Vitality currently sit at 3rd. Now, we got to go and expand on that just a little bit, but allow us to get our calculators put together and allow us to really hone in some numbers here. I'm from Alabama, personally, you can understand. Now, these other 2 are really good at England. Imagine that. But we will get that, I guess, all put together and presented to you properly. Isn't that right, Nico?
Yes, indeed, Trace. I mean, it's, you know, we've gone through this time and time again. It's going to depend on these other matchups as well. You know, you can't just be betting on winning your own game. You've got to hope some teams lose theirs as well. Now, this boost is excellent. Did they spot it? Probably not at that range. No one going back in for more, though.
Anybody got time for that? They're going to hold on to this boost for a while. Now jumping off. Seen that boost go the other way, too, with the 2-bullet there from upper. Really insane stuff.
Who was that? It was an NIP game.
That was Lekra, yeah, from Up in Heaven. Just shutting it down. And, yeah, not going to get to see that relived or reimagined here from Vitality. The boost finds nothing really for either side. You know, if Vitality had seen that, there's definitely things they could have done elsewhere on the map to try and apply pressure, but that doesn't even happen. Now this B play looks to come in uncontested. Molotov to force the player out from behind the barrels. Masuta was playing and pushed up over towards short side. He actually wins that fight onto Glaive. Now the rest of Astralis, they've got to be pretty quick in trying to pick up the pieces. Wow. There's even more pieces. They're everywhere. This B site right now looks like a child's playroom, and it's only going to get worse. Dupree comes in for the trade. We're down to the 2 versus 2. Shox getting up close behind this smoke. And it's down on the bridge, so he will be undetected. Noise is being made by ZywOo, and Shox has gotten himself up to try and peek over this smoke. 10 seconds, Astralis, you've got to get this bomb down, and it gets, not denied, not quite. Xyp9x just about gets around that corner. Oh, it was close.
Deep breath.
With ZywOo on the other side, you know he doesn't miss these. Xyp9x has retreated down to behind the sandbags, crossing, catching the timing when ZywOo had just looked away, and oh
my goodness, this is going to be real weird. ZywOo goes for it, gets it, doesn't even have to go for the no-scope. Real quick with it, Hugo, real quick with it.
I want to pick up on 2 details there. The cross was excellent towards sandbag. ZywOo just missed the timing. Second detail, ZywOo, I'd never even seen that. He taps the bomb, and then he plays this little gap where I think he can see the peak from short. I've never seen that gap. I've played and seen 1,000 Overpass games, Trace. And
just 1,000? Come on, man.
I know, I should step it up and deep. But that's mad. You know, even learning new things today, that's how deep this game goes.
Deep we go into a U.S. Air Force tactical timeout with Astralis currently down 5 rounds just to tie it up. Meanwhile, don't believe that Glaive is having too awesome of a showing to this point. Perhaps they can turn it around. This is their map pick. They did just win the first map, which was that of Vitality's on Dust 2. And as you can see there from our storyboard, it does look like, well, if you recall all the way back, the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, Astralis has already found success over this lineup now. Vitality did have Alex there. And the timeout comes to a close. Astralis back with weapons in hand. Plenty of utility for it as well.
Yeah, I think Astralis know that this, both not the performance they should be delivering and not the resistance I think they were expecting here on Overpass. I imagine, you know, Zonic said in that interview before the game, well, we don't really have much to go off of when it comes to Vitality. And I think one of the maps that really springs to mind on is here on Overpass. It wasn't even one that you can really think of them being impeccable on back in the Vitality of old. RPK does deal with Dupree. And now going to duck on down to Glaive. At least helping out with a short offensive, but RPK's delivered all the kills. Man's allowed to stand there and just fire off into the face of the man at barrels. Has left Glaive now in the 1v2. A lot to do for the IGL of Astralis. He's going to grab this bomb. Gives up the bomb site. Vitality have both players here. He's got to make noise, though, on this rotation. Glaive's got a big brain on his shoulders, so this could be a fake away from this B site, just to put that seed of doubt in the head of Vitality.
He does have a Molotov, a smoke, and a flash. However, only on 10 HP. He's got to be very, very careful in every fight that he takes. If he has to fight it out, he has to find that frag. There's little to no room for error. Zywoo over here towards long. Shox at Graffiti.
The reason Shox' position is excellent is he's next to connector, so he's just heard Glaive open that door, and he's also going to be hearing all of these footsteps. You can see Shox looking at the wall, trying to telegraph the sound, and Glaive, he should be dead here. A bomb plant with 10 seconds, no time to clear the site, and Zywoo is ready. Astralis, a weird game. There are two recurring factors that seem to be a problem right now. One of them is the time. Not often an issue for Astralis. They are a very calculated team. They have left a lot of rounds too late, and they have slipped apart. I'm thinking the round where Magist gets 2 deeks on A, and they run B with a few seconds left. Dupree misses the plant to a second. I'm thinking the round where RPK gets 3 in the toilet, and Astralis don't have time to pick up the bomb. Apex survives in connector. On top of that, Stacks, Astralis, they've not been going for, you know, A control and then ducking down, you know, putting pressure on that A site, throwing smokes, ducking down connected to B, or vice versa. They have been committing to the site that they start at more often than not. So, you know, Vitality have often had 4 players on this B bomb site, and that's where Astralis are ending up more often than not because there's just no pressure towards toilet. Zywoo is able to remain free and calm the fact that mid is clear to his team, and that gives room for Vitality to quad stack B. Now, in this round, that is not the case. Astralis go back to the top site, and hopefully it will have a better situation for them, but Zywoo, he's not making it easy at all. He's even got a teammate up close as well. Shox hasn't been spotted. Zywoo gets tagged, but this is where Shox can strike. The wall bang from Zywoo. He's going in for a third. The bomb at his feet as well. The pistols are going home. Glaive will trade, but again, Shox is still here, and they only just figure out the hard way. Xyp9x alone, 1 on 4. It's looking done here, and it will be indeed.
Yeah, we're talking about the hard ways, and in this moment, it's not Astralis rolling the dice. It's Vitality running the board. Astralis barely passing the line so far, an 8-1 route. This has not gone well. Obviously, you two have never played craps, but perhaps I have. So
Crabs?
Craps. When no one plays crabs, so to say, it's
They eat
called
them,
craps.
Trace.
Anyway, gamble responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. That is my last message for you about all that. Meanwhile, we're looking at this round, in which, again, weapons out for Astralis. They're going to have to start to turn this around. They need more T rounds.
Yeah, they really, really do at this point. I mean, this is dismal. You can tell it's not my birthday because, you know, it's just gone past midnight, and
yeah, I hate you now.
while Dust 2 is stellar, Astralis don't feel the need to keep up appearances here on Overpass. 8-1. Team Vitality leading the charge in a very, very big way. Something I'm loving out of Vitality is these double toilet setup that they've been playing a hell of a lot. This time we see Zywoo and Shox doubling up over at long. And I mean, I just like this across the board, you know, because usually you kind of have like a long player, then you have a guy in toilets, and they'll normally work in tandem. And what this means is like if you give up long or you give up mid, normally you lose the hold on the long side or the short side, depending on where you gave up, because of toilets. And you can flank through long through the toilets. But with Vitality playing these double setups, it's allowed them to just keep re-peaking on these avenues and keep taking these fights. Now, in this round here and now, this has actually created a bit of a problem for Team Vitality because ZywOo finds himself trapped over at long side. Dupree's going to be holding the bank for these rotations on up, and a bomb plant can come in for Astralis. Glaive's going to start to plug in those numbers now. Xyp9x gets caught there, trying to hold the rotation of RPK, so even more pressure in the back line. Astralis, they're going to respond to this by trying to take CT control. They know that two players find themselves towards short and long, so they capitalize on Apex while he's alone. And now down to the 2v2. Glaive still inside of the site. The bomb tapped there by RPK, and the crossfire comes in for Glaive and Dupree as they get that one done between the two of them.
Yeah, Dupree pushing the bank right there makes for a totally different round. It gives them just enough wiggle room to flex and swing off those kills as the Vitality players try to retake the site. So good on him for getting that ground, creating a little bit more space for his team there in what was a second round for Astralis.
Yeah, and Vitality even knew about the possibility as well. It was either Apex or Shox down in bank, or the bottom of it rather, just holding for the push. And the second Dupree gets aggressive, they turn away to go towards the stairs, and that's when he strikes. So nice timing there for Astralis. Wonderful stuff. Get a second on the board. Boost up in the spawn. Oh, the re-jump. And Device, he doesn't miss. He's going to take that kill instantly. Let's see what the reaction is from Vitality. You often see a lot of W pressing once the boost gets a frag, because you know as a result that Astralis have 5 players in the T-spawn. Apex takes some good map control, but that drop in the water, that's going to get hurt by Glaive in the connector. So information here for Astralis that they can use against Vitality. Xyp9x is going to pop flash his teammate in, but do they expect the close left?
Oh, they will check it. Yeah, the barrel of Apex going to give him up. That flash also didn't go deep enough, so Apex wasn't even blind by it. Didn't come back to haunt Astralis, though. They get the kill anyway. In the meantime, Devices continue to extend that even further. And so now Vitality finding themselves on the back foot. And they're not too used to this. Okay.
Close.
It's going pretty well for them. Vitality down to 3 players, and it's going to be ZywOo with AWP from Heaven. All 3 players over here towards this B site.
Yeah, this is the perfect call, right? The reason this is good is because if Vitality have read this right and it is B, they have 3 players here. They have their best chance of putting up a defense. If Astralis execute on A now, which looks to be the situation, Vitality just save 3 guns. They don't have any money. They will be on eco next round if they lose these players. So honestly, you know, this isn't the best case scenario, but this is fine. Vitality, they've already realized this round is over. They're just going to save the guns. Astralis have taken the A site, bomb planted, 3 weapons to work with in the follow-up rifle round. And, you know, it's as soon as Astralis break your money, that's when they're going to start streaking rounds together. So Vitality don't want that to happen soon. They want to be able to keep investing. And, well, that's going to be still brought into question with only 3 guns surviving. Shox can drop over something, but everyone else is going to struggle. So it will still be a weak buy. You might see pistol armor around the save.
Yeah, Astralis not going to go hunting much further than this. If they gave 1 kill over to Shox, he can drop an M4 next round. But if without it, which looks to be the case, it will just be that famous. Oh no, he's all good. He can go ahead and throw something else into this. He actually will be able to drop one of those M4s over to the Astralis side.
You can see Device double take on that boost. The camera cut it there. Nice editing. But yeah, he saw the jump and then he looked away like he was going to drop, because last time they jumped, they only did it once. But this time the double jump, Harry, and well, you go back for more. That's when Device takes it away. So Astralis, hey, this may have been a rough start to the map, but absolutely do not count out the best team in the world. 8-3, money on the rocks here for Vitality. If Astralis win this round clean, they are going to break the bank of the Frenchman.
That's definitely what they want to do. ZywOo, though, will be the first one that they need to silence, especially towards long. That's a good op kill there. And he's going to continue to deliver. Perhaps he can go for 3, legs him through the pole, and it's just a little too much. Strongest pole in the world, and I don't mean Pasha biceps.
This round is a mess. Shox gets out of the connector, and Apex is pushed up B. I don't know how this has transpired, but Xyp9x, will he read this position? Surely not, but Apex pushes into his crosshair. That is unfortunate. It's an important map control regained by Astralis, and it forces Shox to stay at this B site. He wanted to rotate, but he couldn't afford to now, or he can't afford to now with B being caved open. Mizuta getting information and getting control towards the toilets. RPK will be alongside him. They've forfeited long, and that is exactly where Astralis are coming from. But remember the time issues that have plagued Astralis round by round in this game. With 40 seconds, this hopefully can't be one of them. Xyp9x is in the perfect position to shut down this flank, but Mizuta is going to take him down, and now Astralis have to double down.
And it's another one of these double toilets set up for Vitality that we've been talking about, that this double hold in the toilets has often proved very, very fruitful, and this can be another round where that looks to be the case. Bomb is planted for CT. This is the right call from Astralis. They don't have any controlled toilets or long side, so they're going to take this CT area. Now, going against them on the other side is this full belt utility over on RPK's back. He can smoke off the player at dumpster, he can Molotov into the bank. That Molotov actually going a little bit shallow has given the AWP a chance. Glaive taking down the first, gets deleted there through the wall. They tap the bomb to try and bake the peek out from Dupree. Rallies off a shot, now they know. And there's the kill for RPK. Defuse will be found. It's going to be close, but it's still a 9th round for Vitality up on the tally. Astralis not quite able to get that one over the finish line.
Yeah, great wallbang as well for Shox. He finds Glaive in through this this dumpster position, as you can see, and that really sets up the retake there. The AWP stuck in bank, only one angle to fight, and Vitality, they just keep faking the bomb, they keep tapping it, they keep forcing the re-peek, and they get their 9th round trace. I also like the fact that Vitality don't even set up for a flanking player there coming in through CT. They allow Astralis to plant for CT spawn and just come in for a full retake as a team. So the last thing you would really expect if you're Astralis.
On the fly, having smoke. Regular old John Elway out here. Dupree rushing into the water. Can't seem to net himself too. Masuda will be there to reply. He's going to be the one holding the fort down here within this B bomb site. The bomb will get planted. There will be no time issues here. 3 versus 3 on the retake. Apex coming through the monster tunnel, and he's out already. Needs to wait for his teammates who are coming through sandbags and water area. The double dink. Xyp9x somehow staying alive.
It's another very awkward post plant here for Astralis. They're cooped up back towards CT. Xyp9x has laid it out. Magisk, holding that pixel gap, gets the kill to ZywOo, and now just Shox. Magisk delivers in spades. 3 kills from him and a 4th round for Astralis. Still a chance to recover this half yet. You know, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. I think they're aiming for 6. I think, you know, the money of Team Vitality is not going to be in a great spot. But yeah, and you know, a 6-9 half, that's definitely recoverable, especially when you think about how late these rounds have had to come through for Astralis. How this was a huge 8-1 lead from Vitality early on.
Certainly getting closer, Harry. I love the fast play from Astralis. I love the switch up of pace. And even though it was early, the only problem with those early B plays is it means Vitality are going to have util for the retake. That was almost a problem as they find a grenade kill to get the advantage back in that retake. But Magisk, man, so good. And Glaive, even better. Fast into the site, 2 kills as they line up. Astralis making quick work of this eco. ZywOo, he thinks he's gotten out of dodge, but it's already over for him. Device is in the spawn, and Astralis are up on 5 rounds.
Yeah,
really,
they needed him big time going forward, Hugo. Now, in your own mind, in your own opinion, rather, what would you think is a very, you know, convincing start to the second half? How many rounds are we looking for Astralis here? They only have a chance at 1 more, but is that good enough?
Yeah, 9-6 is fine. Remember, you get the pistol and Vitality keen to force. Probably not on the T side unless they get a bomb plant. So you could imagine Astralis going 9-9 up if they win this round and the pistol with conversions. And that's fine. Then you're favored. You're equal split down the middle and on the CT side. So that's a great position for Astralis. They're not there yet, though, Trace. They've got to work for the rounds. Grenades could certainly help them out, but dodged on the site for Vitality. We've got another heavy setup. 4 players down lower. The 1 round Astralis B rush was the 1 round Vitality haven't had this quad setup. So now they've gone back for it. Means they are in a great position considering Astralis are here. Not to commit, though. RPK on the flank. They don't know about that just yet. Device missing the timing by a second. Xyp9x has to clear this one. He's not going to be expecting such a close player, but the jiggle is there. RPK's given up the position. Xyp9x just waiting, just playing patient, dodges the flash as well. In the meantime, Device is taking the A site and he's gotten past Shox. If he wants, he could flank B right now. That would be far more valuable considering the rest of Astralis are outside that site. But the bomb is coming on its own towards A. This means Shox could find the timing. He could drop it.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a real awkward encounter. Glaive just passing the fountain. Meanwhile, Shox passing him out. Left, right, good night. That's a bomb down. And that's going to create a big problem. Again, we find a time...
Well, 30
pressured.
seconds.
Yeah,
you know.
a time-pressured situation there.
It happens,
I just wanted to
Trace,
build the suspense for all of you at home. That way...
I mean, there's so much to focus on, Trace. I can't blame you for losing concentration. Look at this. Device flanks B. He comes up with 2 kills from heaven. Majis gets a frag onto Shox. He picks the bomb back up. They take it to the A site. It's all over the place, Harry.
Yeah, and now it's only Masuta left. A little thing to note as well, Astralis, not a team that run the Krieg. They do here in round 15, and everyone purchases one up. And it gives them some immediate good results. A 9-6 half there in favor of Vitality, but it's still one hell of a recovery from the Astralis boys. They've been able to turn it around from what was an 8-1 deficit. So can they keep on recovering, or are we going the distance? Join us after a quick break to find that out.
Chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day you wanna stay out, you're chasing the light, holding on for life, fading the high, chasing the night, chasing the night.
Astralis start off with a lead foot, and I don't mean that they were speeding towards the finish line. I mean that things were just a little weighted down here on their T side of Overpass. They did bounce back, gives them a 9-6. And of course, Vitality in the lead also leads us to talk about the other games going on here on this last day of these groups. You see this Astralis Vitality game just under that nip and snip. Well, they lost the first map, and now it looks like they want to push to a third. And then there is the Spirit Godsend game. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 11, everyone. And this is the place to be. This is the coolest chat I can think of in the entire planet right now. So shout out to all of you out there. Hey, guys.
Yes, indeed, Trace. And, you know, a notable talking point, right? Vitality, 8-1 up at one point in this map. It's certainly gotten closer. It's certainly gotten better for Astralis as they've warmed up into things, into the T side. dupreeh, he was 8-2 in opening duels back on Dust. He's 0-3 in them now, not finding those crucial entries on the terrorist half for Astralis, but maybe the defense is where they can pick things up.
Yeah, ZywOo and RPK have been a nuisance for this Astralis side. ZywOo, of course, on the AWP. He's done plenty. Now, this is interesting. Given the first half result, you look at these GG.bet odds, and yes, they're going to side for the side of Astralis. Now, given Vitality's current stature in this map, they are doing enough to take us to 3.
Oh, it certainly feels like it, but will it be enough? You know, a good start versus Astralis sometimes doesn't equate to a good ending, and already... Come on. Oh, go on. Another one. You've been dinged, but it's... Oh.
There was a real chance there. Device gave us some highlight clips in the last map. Wouldn't be surprised to see him again now.
But
Pistol's OP.
He's just opened up this round. He's just made this so good for Astralis. And look at all the control they've taken as a result. dupreeh's pushed all the way up into T-spawn, for Christ's sake. Shox is going to come back and clear this, but we saw this fight earlier in the first half. Apex didn't have the patience to wait. You know dupreeh does. Ooh. He's heard the footsteps, and so he's called for rotation, but Shox isn't committing to B. He just came back to clear this position, so dupreeh, in a second, might need to make the call for Astralis that, okay, it's not looking like B. Keep an eye on connector. They can still come here, but no one's pushed. So dupreeh will be the one to force the issue, force the action coming in on this backline, but just stays B to watch connector. That's the only other way Vitality can get to this lower site, and right now that doesn't look realistic. They're walking into a stack with a flank as well. Oh dear, it doesn't get much worse than this.
Yeah, that grenade could do some serious damage here. Zipex is going to be wheeling it in the site, trying to jump spot there short. Here comes the grenade. It's not going to land the damage that he would have hoped for. The desired damage, one might even say. Glabe's going to be there to help. The reinforcements have arrived. Meanwhile, we have a fight going on in the bathrooms. With the bomb plant, pressure now onto Astralis. Shox evening it up, finds 3 with the P250. Can he keep it going? 2v2.
Yeah, now only dupreeh left in the blink of an eye. It's fallen down to one man. This was looking so good for Astralis. dupreeh has to finish the work that the rest of the team started, and it's not happening today. Shox will take down 3, Apex with a double. And a 10th round for Vitality as they reach double digits. They get those on the board. That goes from being a 5-on-3 in favor of Astralis to a Vitality round. And now a pause is called on in as well. This looks like it's of the technical nature.
Yeah.
Those USPs are so finicky, man. You know, you can have a 5-on-3, and like Astralis in that situation, knew where they were coming, knew what to do, knew exactly what was going on, and just sometimes the shots don't hit, Trace, and that's when the rounds fall apart. The pistol not going their way.
No, it's not. And you know what? A little bit of a trivia here. We do have a little bit of a pause. So maybe I give you guys the heads up that you might not realize it, but your brain is a code cracking machine. You know, for like Hugo, for example, it doesn't matter what order the letters appear in a word. It's the only important thing that the first and the last letter are in the right place.
Yeah.
The rest can be a total mess, and you could still read it without a problem.
Yes.
And the more you know, right, Harry?
Yeah, you know, that's why all of my emails are not encrypted. I just send them, you know,
normally.
Yeah, but with the whole middle bit just shifted around.
If
and
anyone
no one
glances,
can read it.
they think it's gobbledygook.
And it basically is. So far, I haven't received any replies to my work emails I've been sending out, so maybe that's why. Another thing I wanted to touch on as we draw to the end of this timeout is Astralis there towards the end of that last half. We saw them buy the Kriegs in full force, a team that have said they're trying to move away from using the scoped weapon. And I think that lies just in because, you know, it's so strong CT side. They buy it up in round 15, knowing that even if Vitality hold the Kriegs forward, well, they can't. You know, it's the end of the half. So
yeah, that would make pistol rounds interesting.
Yeah, I like that idea. It's something that we've seen, I think, Carrigan and Mouse Sports and the boys even look to do as well. So teams adapting to the Krieg in its current form. That is until Valve strike it down into the ground and it becomes a usable.
Get the Krieg out. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, usually I don't like Valve's aggressive nerfing, but I feel like it is due, Trace. It is needed.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Let's get it on.
Glaive finds the kill on RPK, and it's time for us to zone it back in here for just a second.
B retake for Astralis. No kit, though. We might even see this force just get saved because they're so far out of this one. And Vitality have everyone on inside of the bomb site. It's not a good situation for Astralis, so yeah. Trying to hold on to these weapons, but just hanging around with an SMG. If he gets a kill, he makes money, so it's worth it. Chip away at the economy of Vitality. Take one of these 4 rifles as well out of their hands. Would be welcomed by Astralis, but no one's going to be giving them away. (11-6). Trace, you talk about, you know, Astralis pulling things back at the end of the half, getting the required rounds at the start of this one. Well, that's just not there. That's not a situation we're seeing. Obviously, we still have this force, so you can't count Astralis out, but it's likely a 12-6. And that's when the rifles will come through for Astralis and their chance to really begin this comeback, but it will be long.
It's about damn time. Or maybe not. This isn't the round.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if this second go at it with the force is going to work for Astralis. I like the decision. They play it safe. This is a team that love to just do things by the numbers, by the books. It's been working out pretty well for them. I don't know if you could tell. So let's see if it yields some good results here. In the third round of the second half here on Overpass, Glaive going to spot the short players and re-smoke down to try and keep these long boys at bay.
Yeah, look at this. They're going to be ready if they double back. Jisk and Dupree, too. They're set up in a pretty good spot. Now, how long will they stand here? How long will they hold this ground? They've split up now, so back to the one-on-ones for each.
That is very unfortunate timing, but they shouldn't rotate too heavily because no noise being made down on lower right now with Astralis. Hearing nothing. See that rotate doubles back. Device comes up to the top site to join Magisk, who was in consideration, and Vitality are walking up short. This scout needs to paint some big damage across. There's a kill. Magisk getting some more off as well. Device finishes the job he started onto RPK. Molotov will force him out, but he still lines up a couple more, and it's going to be a done deal. Surely a locked-in round for Astralis with the force. Apex trying to make it happen on his own.
Yeah, but it's this connector player that should seal the deal. Zipnik's going to emerge from his little hidey hole, his little goblin. Oh. He tried to shoot the gun over. Didn't account for the deagle and the providing that much force to it. Neither did he account for the gun being all lubed up and just slipping across the floor like it's nothing. It is a 7th round on the board for Astralis regardless.
Doesn't always have to be lube. You know, it could be someone spilled some cooking oil, maybe some hand lotion. This day and
these
age,
excuses you rallied off before, Trace, by the sound of it. I mean, how quickly you came to that.
No, Your Honor, it was cooking oil.
Listen, Your Honor, in this moment, I just want to plead with you for what is going on in the other stream. Overpass on this stream, Overpass on the other stream of Nip and Ints. And Nip, on a commanding T side, have put them into a third map, 16-4. Ints, looking like the Ints that we know from this season. And now they're going to be going to a third map, which, if I look at it, looks like it's going to be that of Inferno.
Nice. Where every good 3-mapper ends.
Or begins.
That is true.
As long as it's there.
Oh, this flank from Dupree, it is well-timed. Creeping out the connector, buying his time, not taking the first kill he can get. He wants a little bit more. Oh dear, still a man in the toilets. He shots, rally off, he gets a frag. Is he ready for Shox on the repeat? No, Shox is there. Dupree looking the right way, but not going to hit the kill. It's still a 3-on-3. It's still viable for Astralis. Do they realize how deep Vitality are inside of the site? The bomb dropped in the open, could bait them in, and RPK almost gets that spray. It's a whiff shot. It's a chance as Mizuta gets a trade, but it's traded straight back. Astralis, don't let a kill get away from them. It's Vitality with a 1-on-2 and Shox.
Yeah, that went pretty well right there, Harry.
Perfectly played from Astralis. Everything about that round looked a lot more like the Danish squad we know and love, right? They take those peaks as like a series of fights with the crossfires set up. They bait Shox into the truck, and as they hear him moving into position, the repeat comes in. everything about this CT side is starting to look more like the Astralis we know and love. And if they're able to get this back under control, there's still a chance for them here in this second map to get this one mopped on up. Now, for Vitality, they've still got this lead. They're not feeling the pressure just yet, at least not fully. But in this round here and now, they don't have much to work with at all. For the most part, it's Glocks, 1 Deagle on Shox is the extent of it. And so this should be a 9th round for Astralis. Something would have to go very, very wrong.
The spray, the team kill. RPK blows Mizuta out of the water, and Device is going to sink this ship where it stands, or floats, I guess. Shox with the lead. Gone again. It's Astralis finding 9 on the CT side. Just going about their business, though. Getting rid of these pistols, making it nice and quick for us as well. As Vitality, they're going to take a tactical pause, sponsored by the US Air Force. A timeout to decide their next rifle round. And if it will be coming now, because as you can see, the money is there, but the AWP will not be included if they are to buy. Hard decision to make, considering the amount of work ZywOo has been doing as well in this map. But do Vitality want to hold out for the long run, or would they rather see what they can do with the AKs and the limited utility that would be bestowed upon them?
Yeah, this game's very much up for grabs still for Astralis to win that first map. We do need it. We will go to Nuke to settle it. Vitality got to take us there first. I don't know about you guys, but a tank certainly is not that comfortable to ride in or on.
I'd imagine it's pretty loud.
And just not designed for comfort. Imagine that.
Design.
Attempt at that mid-peak from Device. I was hoping he was going to get something from it. You know, running on up, looked confident, looked like he was primed and ready to go, but missed shot and denied the opener here. Over on the Astralis side, doesn't come at a huge cost. However, you're already going to note the differences in how these two squads have approached their CT side, right? Instead of these double toilets set up that Vitality were throwing in a hell of a lot, it's this connector toilet split from Astralis. Now, this leaves a bit of a gap on the map over here at Longside. That means you've had to pull Xyp9x up, get him into position just to lock this down. Device is going to go back into the toilets now a little bit late, and from the divider, he will cut ZywOo in 2. Dupree deals with Mizuta down in the lower tunnels. Now he's looking for a little bit more as he moves through connector. Shox holding this flank. Actually,
What?
I don't know how Shox wins that one. Gravity's against him, everything's against him. Dupree's at the bottom of the ladder and just gets blown away.
Yeah.
He gets Goomba stomped out of the round.
And that's just not something that happens to you and your friends in matchmaking. I can assure you that. Device not quick enough for the turnaround there, and RPK is going to lead the charge out into this A bomb site. They're going to get the bomb plant. Still a ton of time to work with. And so far, this round looked pretty clean for Astralis, up to the point that Shox jumps down the ladder like Assassin's Creed. Just going to try to take it up the short area. Finds one onto Apex, even in the score a little bit. Shox very low. After that encounter, it left him with 19 HP, but with this bomb planted, Vitality hold all the cards.
Ooh, and now he's made his appearance. Astralis have been trying to figure out where the hell Shox has gone all round long. Magisk, now one more player, unknown. It's RPK close on the corner, taking the fight. And Magisk is running out of time. He'll get flanked as well. That is a mess of a round for Astralis, man. They had that under lock and key, it seemed, but this kill is everything. Shox, I don't even know if he knew, right? He was sneaking towards connector, and then he just out of nowhere starts sprinting and yeets himself down the ladder.
Yeet.
Y'all mind if I yeet this real quick? Well, Dupree did mine Trace. He really did mine. 12-9, and Vitality off to a splendid start, winning a crucial rifle round.
Shox, Yeetus Maximus. Full sending down the ladder does give him that round.
Yeah, he's only got a Deagle in this round. He dropped an AK over. I don't know if it's a case of there's a gun in spawn meant for him, but no, I think this was by design, and maybe with good reason. Shox there delivering with the Deagle early on. He seems very, very aware that this is all he's got.
Now there is a gun in spawn.
Yeah, now there's something at least for him to go and get his little hands on outside of this B site. Can't actually comment on if he's got little hands or big hands, but
we'll get that for you later on
yeah.
Sure.
We'll bring
David,
that
work
one
out
up.
the size of Shox's hands, please.
Yeah, you have to review the footage, have to get some scales going and have us a nice answer before this game comes to a close. Device holding the toilets. How's this big green gun? But does that mean he's going to have big green fun? We'll have to wait and see as they start to creep towards him now. Not going to go around just yet. He's still holding for this short peek now. Apex is over here by the bench. Looks like he's going to get into position to line up this utility for the rest of the squad. There's the first kill found from Astralis. It's dupreeh forcing a fight long side. Device strikes one down in the meantime. And oh, Device, another kill. The double mollies rain on in. But it's dupreeh and Device again. The hotshot duo back from Dust 2. Delivering in spades here for the Astralis squad. Apex is now all alone. However, he's brought this down to a 1v3. Double setup over on the truck side. The flashbangs are good. Oh, Apex, little too blind there to get through the door. Does manage to get away, and Astralis are going to get themselves a 10th. It's another round where Glaive has set down the headset. All right, guys, only people starting with the letter D can get kills this round, and they've done it. Device and dupreeh stepping up for the Danes.
Damn. And yes, double digits, Harry. Astralis up to 10. Vitality, they get away with a gun, but not really much money behind it. That is a bit of a problem for the short term. Might have to take an eco around this. And indeed they will. Deagle's out here for the side of Vitality. Just when you think they're getting comfortable, Astralis come back in with another huge round. It's a nade down mid for dupreeh. Good damage as well. Armorless, of course, on most of these players. Device, timing is everything. Just moves off the angle as they begin to get closer. He knows it. But does he know how fast they have found themselves up through toilets? ZywOo push towards a divider. This is where you will now expect to see the AWP, and Device is indeed answering the call, holding close to short. They can just walk out of toilets, and there's nothing he can do. He needs to be very careful. That molly is going to answer a lot of questions, though, and it will send Vitality back into his crosshair. There's two from Device. Bomb dropped, all the info in the world. How many more?
Yeah, he's looking for a little something else, and Apex only shows a leg. That is more than enough, as they've had to pay more than an arm and a leg to get into this A-bomb site. And even then, that is a push. To say they got in is an overstatement of the accomplishments from Vitality in that round, and an understatement of the AWPing prowess of Device back in that A-bomb site.
And speaking of statements, we're going to be taking a look at the bank accounts over here on the side of Vitality. They have the numbers, they have the money to buy up in this round. However, Astralis have pushed to the point where this is a close game now. And now with Astralis one map ahead, Vitality, we're really going to have to dig deep, do a little soul searching to close this one out.
Oh, what's that smoke from Xyp9x? Where is that going? I imagine it's just a deep mid one, but yeah, you usually see mollies there. Instead, he throws a spawn smoke. I've actually never seen that.
That's a touchdown pass, actually.
Damn, dude, that's awesome.
Too bad no one's there. Vitality are going to be going towards this B site from the looks of it, with rifles, too. They're going to step out and Xyp9x crosshair. The comm has been made. They are out.
Oh, Glaive is spamming, but there's no one around the corner. It's Xyp9x lining up a double, and the damage has been done by Glaive. He's going to swivel on the spot with more painting the walls with blood. The grenade will finish off the job. It's Apex alone. Another clutch situation for the in-game leader. New to the role. Not new to the role of clutching, though. However, this will be his last. dupreeh shuts him out. And Astralis 12-12. The buy round for Vitality. The B rush, it gets denied. And now more pistols should leave Astralis in the lead.
Should. And that's what we're looking for.
Oh, certainly what they're looking for as well. You know, hoping not only that they take this victory, but ENCE defeat NIP in that third map of Inferno Trace. Because if not, then, well, Astralis can't top the group.
And that's exactly what Harry Russell predicted.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know which one you said I predicted. I don't know if you mean I predicted Astralis to top the group, or if I predicted that other series going the way.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, so. I mean...
Yeah, Harry, come on.
You're rooting around my noggin, and I didn't even realize you were there.
Yeah.
It's only pistols, though.
Yeah, it is only pistols here, Harry.
I like this. Team Vitality, they're using this as like a bit of a timeout, right? The famous existence strat. They just sit back, discuss this next buy round, knowing the implications it holds.
Could practice that 5-man boost, you know, with the pistols, see if you can get, you know, 12 damage across the map. Probably not, though.
Not to mention, if you do it and it doesn't work, you know that you're getting pushed everywhere on this map.
Oh, I mean,
Look
you're
at this,
losing it
though.
anyway, I guess.
Shox was about to tell them, he's probably telling them a story about how he just dropped down ladder, got the kill, and just kept going with it. Apex saying, hey guys, hurry up, I'm already on the playground.
He's talking about 5 fingers on one hand, and each player has to be one of those fingers. And each of those fingers has to pick up that bomb, but Mizuta, fastest fingers in the West. Will they expect a second player here? No, they walk in sideways and they get sidelined by Dupree. Puts him on the bench there, pistol out, and he is not stopping. Finally going to be put to rest by Apex. There's guns at his feet, and 20 seconds, he's got to go fast.
Yeah, there was a lot at stake in this round. Of Vitality, they get T-boned over in the connector. Astralis 13-12 up, as they now find themselves in the lead from being 8-1 down in the first half to now pole position in the second. Vitality now find themselves on the back foot, a feeling they haven't even thought about for a long while. Now comes creeping back into the fray. ZywOo, the AWP in the hands of the young gun over on Vitality. And he's looking to do what he does best with it.
More B utility for Vitality. I don't want to see a rush here, but oh, that's unlucky for them. Xyp9x is going to boost up. Great call from Astralis. They've been running this double con setup, and they're going to completely dispatch it the second it gets seen. You can already see Glaive is hanging around toilets. His teammate Magista running all the way back. Oh, that's not Magista, Xyp9x rather, running all the way back towards B safely. Going to reconsider as Device gets a kill in middle, smoking off his retreat. ZywOo doesn't care. He's going to find him anyway. And Astralis, how will they respond to this? Oh no, Dupree, you've been burned before in this position. Sneaking down, no one falling on his head this time, but there are 2 players in position. Shox again trading, this time at least not midair.
Yeah, Glaive with the follow-up. Good calm there. Hey, Shox is coming down with his lower connector.
I love that. Glaive says, well, if you think the ladder shot was BS, let me show you this. So then just wall bangs him into the connector. RPK now trying to go back for this bomb, and he will at least be afforded that. Glaive pushed into short, is going to be on this angle, maybe sooner than RPK realizes. 14-12 now. Astralis once again bringing the money for Vitality to its knees. They're investing over on the French side. They are putting everything into this round here and now. They are going for it. And this is going to leave them without an AWP. ZywOo, by the looks of things, was relegated down to a pistol in this round here and now. Is that going to be enough?
I don't know. Astralis not looking to spare any baguettes. One's shining bright right now.
Zuta alone in middle. Got to fight Dupree. It's a tough battle as flashes come in from Astralis. Glaive, he's been very quick in these last few rounds, getting some spam off. Shox does trade, but he's low. Damage on either side. Vitality are going to duck out of B with that kill. Actually, they look to be lining up smokes instead, hanging around the monster area, and Astralis rotating players away from this site. Reconsidering, unsure as to their decision. Device has seen nothing on A all round long, so I guess there's no reason to rotate off at the moment. Vitality throwing in the utility. Astralis, they've cleared B short, and that could be confirmation bias here. They think B is empty. That is not the case. It's a full 4-man monster commitment. A rotate comes through from Xyp9x. Still 2 players here, but they've got to hold their own. The spray is not there, and ZywOo and RPK open up the site.
Yeah, big hold right here for Device and Zip if they can do it. 2v4. Do you have a Molotov smoke? Neither with a kit on their person. Perhaps just one down in the site. Don't really know off the top of my head. Device going the long flank. It's going to leave Zip back up just a little bit. I say that, and he's going to go ahead and get away from everything. He wants absolutely nothing to do with this. And today, some baguettes were spared. 4 of them to be exact. They're going to take those weapons in the next round. We've still got a game on our hands. Astralis definitely looked like they were running away with it there for a second. It's going to be a 13th for the French side. In this moment, I want to invite you to hit Control-T, head over to shop.eslgaming.com, grab yourself some of the new Gooseman apparel. Cool stuff. Hugo was wearing it the other day. Very boss-like.
Yeah, the feathers were my favorite part of the Goose outfit.
Yeah. I thought like the, you know, like the fringe, that was good stuff. The tassels that Harry had on were pretty good.
Shame about the placement of them, you know. Can't really show that on stream. But
Not that we would want to.
No,
Not
good
sure
point.
who wants to see that. But he is
I don't even think I want to see that, being honest.
the
Yeah,
former birthday boy.
mirrors hate him.
Device and Dupree donning the double AWP here for Astralis, and Dupree is sick and tired of all this waiting around. He tries to go in for a mid-peak, didn't see anything.
Ooh.
Device there was hoping that could have been his chance at an opener, but instead ZywOo remains steadfast on the other side. Dupree gonna back away deep to this A-bomb site now. Man down for Astralis. And they're going to post up with the majority of players actually beginning a rotation up here to the A side of the map. This could be a disaster.
Oh, Apex has seen it. Goes both ways. The molly is out. The molly is back in. Glaive can't smoke that off. He's just got to take the fight until he dies. ZywOo burning him alive.
This is not a good look for Astralis, in which each bullet that gets thrown across the map, Mizuta finds Zipex. Just gonna 1v5, and certainly he's gonna be getting the hell away from that situation.
Yeah, Magisk really wants to think about holding on to this AWP as well, especially, and he doesn't even get given the opportunity to see it. Mizuta holding down the A-bomb site while the bomb gets planted at B, stops any weapons getting carried out of that round for Astralis, and that's going to have some huge implications here. A US Air Force tactical timeout called in from the Vitality squad. A bit of a chance to mull this one over and let Astralis stew in it.
Yeah.
As they now sit 14-14. Now this gets awkward for the Danes. Why, I hear you ask? Well, money. Not that great, but also not that bad. They can invest here and now. However, if they don't pick it up, they will have nothing up against map point for Vitality. As well as that, the AWP becomes a bit of a tenuous prospect. Now, Magisk had money to buy one, but he's also the only guy who could drop anything over. We do see that AWP gets purchased up. Into the hands of Device it goes, but you're going to note Device hasn't invested anything yet and only has $2,100 to his name. So he actually can't really bring anything to the table here in terms of armoring up the rest of the team. Nick's going to take the hit as he goes in with a UMP alongside Glaive. So it's an AWP on Device, rifles for Magisk and Dupree, and 2 SMGs to try and deny map point the way of the Frenchman.
Yeah, I like the buy, but it is such a risky one. Playing for the win here. I mean, you don't want to go at 14-14 with just enough money and play for overtime, of course, but if you lose this, the map is so likely. Astralis will be left to nothing. Just a few $1,000s, just that pistol armor.
That would take us in a nuke, wouldn't it, Hugo?
More likely than not, Trace. More likely than not. Double connector setup, though, and this has been so good for Astralis in some of these prior rounds. Oh, baby. Dupree's waiting. The check isn't there. Mizuta looking in the right corner, and I guess it was the wrong corner. Dupree spammed in through the hole. Not going to be finished off, though. Apex can try and molly him out, but there is utility to smoke that off. Doesn't matter. Dupree's dead anyway. And, well, Zipnix, he's the second man down here, but there's no one on top site. Everyone is lower right now. Apex not going to expect a second player in this corner.
Oh, it looked like Apex
So
saw him
close.
there. I think he saw the barrel just a little bit ahead of time. Doesn't matter. Zipnik still wins that fight. Team Vitality, the pressure is mounting. The pressure is monumental, and you've got to get past Glaive here. The flashes are so damn good. The UMP's almost done it, and there's Magisk to secure match and series point for Astralis. They'll take 15. They get to the finish line.
But the money for Vitality is prime. It's proper. They can afford to be a little wasteful with it. And it being the last round, no real reason to not shy away.
Overtime on the cards here, Trace. It's looking possible. Vitality, though, they got to get the round. And, you know, Astralis, they've been in this position before a million times. They've been one away from overtime. And, you know, if there was any team that has the call to shut this down, it would be Astralis. Vitality, a new team, at least when it comes to the in-game leading. Apex recently taking that mantle, but a wealth of experience in his brain. Will he use that to good effect here for Vitality? So many questions. We're about to get the answers.
We said Device was the player to watch. He is delivering. 29 and 17, 93 ADR. Just a highlight clip of his own over on the first map of Dust 2.
Yeah, Astralis, they find themselves on the finish line of the sprint. But if Vitality catch up, this breaks into a marathon of a game as we would head into overtime. ZywOo going to get run boosted up over into the crosshair of Device. And Device does not know the speed demon that just got unleashed upon him over towards long. That is a huge opener to find for Vitality in the most important round of this best of 3 yet. Shox now down here towards short, trying to carve a path into this B bomb side. The rest of his team grouped up over here on the long side. Engagement from Magisk, a little bit overzealous there. They give Apex the double entry as Astralis try and pressure these players. Xyp9x will nade one from the round and also deals with Apex, but gets caught on the repeak, and this leaves dupreeh all alone. 1-on-3 in through the connector. Vitality, surely they do not give this up. Not with Shox in this position as well. We're heading to overtime. We roll this one back and we keep on going. Now we're looking for 19 rounds.
Look at this shot, man. Device, 29 kills, about to get his 30th, and ZywOo gets thrown into that long position. I love the call from Vitality. They just double down on B off the back of it. Great grenade from Xyp9x, but it's not enough to save Astralis.
And Xyp9x with his hold from heaven looked like it was going to be the difference maker in that round. That was the one where if he doesn't get opt, he's still got a Molotov, he thwarts the plant, and then there you have it.
There was loads of utility actually for Astralis on the two-on-two, but yeah, like you said, the AWP. That was the break, not the make. Oh dear, Magisk hangs around with the flashbang in his face. He can't see it because of the smoke, and luckily no one capitalizes. He gets out of dodge. Shox commits to the B-bomb site. Xyp9x, how is he alive for so long? He gets out of that Molotov. He hangs in the corner where it starts to spread and then has to run through the entire thing. Down to 12.
What a mad lad. He really just stood there and took it like that.
And this, I love this from Vitality. They make it look like they were going to go B, and I think they wanted to go B, but on the back of not finding that kill onto Xyp9x and knowing that Astralis are likely going to rotate players fast, they now bow out of the round. They give up this B site pressure that they had. They haven't completely relinquished it, right? Leaving Shox and RPK waiting in the wings. And it looks like this is all with the design to go back to B a little bit later in the round. They're not pressuring mid. They're not clearing any of these other avenues. But what this does mean for Astralis is all they've seen is pressure early, and now everything is a question mark once again. You know, while before it looked like it was going to be the B play, and there were 4 players here for the Danes, now there's only 2, with Magisk playing up in heaven for that rotate between either site. And that now puts a lot of pressure on Device and Glaive. Pressure, though, being applied, and they morph under it. They'll take up a bunch of kills here for Astralis. ZywOo's trying to close the gap, trying to close the distance. And while Glaive getting dropped over at short side looked like a way in. However, they lose ZywOo, they lose Masuta, and with it, they lose that round. The 16th now on the board for Astralis as they take the first of overtime.
Of course they do, Harry. And they do it with conviction. Just like that. End of the round, the word is R-E-K-T. That's the one we're looking for. Absolutely wrecked. 16-15, first round of OT for the Danes. Device continuing his rampage, 31-19 as we watch the rest of this game.
I do love that we have 16K MR3 in the Pro League.
It's proper.
Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Chase. Isn't Valve official rules for the majors 10K MR3? If anyone knows that, anyone want to confirm? Pretty sure it is. I'm not 100% though. And you know, I much prefer 16K. Lets you get those guns in. Doesn't let you get broken in the 3rd round if you lose the opening 2. So many tournaments, so many leagues. It's hard to remember all of the rule sets, but he will remember nothing in this round. His brain gets blown out, fried by Shox with a double kill down on the lower site. They're not going to commit though. Astralis still have 2 more men there, and of course the bomb has been lost in. The bomb has been picked back up in T-spawn. ZywOo gets a kill on A, and Vitality are just going to double down towards his site. But again, so far away as they just left B. Xyp9x is going to go through the smoke. He knows no one's here just yet. In a very good position. But he's got to be very patient as Vitality take their time to come up long.
I believe it is 10K.
Yeah, no, I've just confirmed that as well.
25 seconds on the clock here. That Molotov's gone over. Xyp9x is so blind, and they check it. Oh, the flash perfect from ZywOo. And Glaive now is left alone. All alone on the rotation up from B. Trying to listen for anything that might give him hints as to where these players are. And right now it's Shox who's got aggressive in Bank that has this round dead to rights. Glaive is not ready for it. Vitality are going to tie us up, bring in the heat here in the second round of OT. They immediately put a 16th up on the board. Something has to change at this B bomb site for Astralis. It feels like such a weak point, and Astralis not really a team that you can ever pinpoint anything as a weakness on, right? They do seem pretty infallible, but here I'm kind of miffed because Vitality consistently getting these entries down towards B, and a lot of the time now, especially here in overtime, not even having to commit to taking the site. They know that just the pressure that those kills put on the defense of Astralis is enough. That's the whole reason that Device gets caught out of position in mid in that round there. And ultimately, it was kind of from that point onwards, right? Because it was 3-on-3 for Astralis up until then, that the round really did fall apart.
Now, in other news, we do have a update on what could be considered the B or C streams, however you want to look at it. Godsent, fine success over Spirit, and that is going to be the end of that match. And the implications weren't necessarily the highest. However, they have 16-13 them on what was the second map of Nuke.
That being said, you know, not high implications, I agree, but that was the only game where, you know, it could have shaken up the rankings, could have shaken up the standings. Spirit could have gotten the third spot if they won that game, but not going to be the case here, Trace. And Astralis, oh my God, look at this flank sequence. He has somehow come through T-Spawn. It is immediately traded. Vitality, the second best team so far in this event at trades.
And Shox is running around doing his thing. It's almost as if he's feeling more aerodynamic now that he shaved his head.
As a man who has shaved his head, thoughts, Harry?
You certainly notice it in the gameplay outside of the server almost immediately. I think that's why the Ents boys have tried to catch on as well. And I don't know if it's working over there, but maybe it is. In this round here and now, it's certainly working out for Shox. Oh, it's working out for everyone. They're all inspired by the bold plays of that man. Now Device all alone and a lot to do. 1 versus 3. There's players all around him. Oh, he's going to try and play around this smoke. That is ballsy to say the very least. Drops on down, but Masuta keeping an eye on the toilets, and that's a 17th round for Vitality. They stand 2-1 up at the end of the first half of OT.
I don't want to like rag on Astralis because I love what they're doing, but it's clear that Vitality are so prepared for this map because Astralis' flanks are getting caught every time. Shox has been lurking so well on the T side in this game. He has not been leaving T-spawn, just going back and forth. And Astralis, they've been so hyper-aggressive on their rotations through enemy lines that they've just been constantly losing these advantages on the CT side. So that's flipped over. Now they're back on the attack. And maybe a chance to right their wrongs, but down around to that of Vitality, looking to bring it to a third map of Nuke. But Astralis not out of this one just yet. 3 rounds in a row could put them in a 2-0 in this series. All on T side, they've got to do it. They only got 6 rounds initially in their first regulation half of T. So they've got to do half of that with no room for error. Missed shot, very close. ZywOo sees the barrel, but he can't get the kill.
Yeah, this is where Shox is going to try and join him. They've been playing this little double up all CT side long. I know it's been a while since then, but this is the norm from Vitality. Smoke down, ZywOo is going to get ahead of it, try and use this smoke against Astralis, but they are ready for exactly that. The flash is good. I think that was Magisk actually setting himself up there with that flashbang. Gets the kill on the back of it. Shox now. Gonna try and re-aggress, gonna try and get into the toilets and almost gets pretty deep. But Dupree able to put him in the grave, and don't worry, he's dug plenty of slots for all these Vitality players. He'll take another, as now it's only RPK 1-on-4. A lot of work to do here for the tank as he rumbles into the back line of Astralis, coming to life as he does light up Device, but it's not quite the kill. And a 17-17 scoreline now to grace that scoreboard. Tied up once again. These final 2 rounds of OT will decide it all. Do we flip this back on its head, head into another one, and this map keeps on going? Or is it going to be one of these teams walking it over the line? They'll need 2 in a row.
Dupree had a rough start to this map, of course, on the initial T side with finding those entry kills, but not here, not today, not in overtime. Massive kills on that A site to get Astralis into things. ZywOo, man, 25 kills deep. What's he got for us in middle? He's got that AWP, but flashed off again by Astralis. Shox is at 32. We've got some high fraggers, high flyers in the server. Push up short. Oh, they check it. Mazuta's blind as well. He's still able to get away with a kill. Can he get away with his life? Yes. Down to 30. Molotov, Dicknix makes a smart decision not to go through it. Did not need to die there, especially not with a disadvantage already taken with Device losing the head-to-head against ZywOo. Great flash, and Glaive doesn't spray. RPK will keep this advantage rolling for Vitality.
Just getting Zipex here. They find themselves standing on the wrong side of a smoke.
Or maybe the right side with how good this Vitality B hold has looked. Astralis not able to find and exploit the same vulnerabilities that Vitality were doing on their T half. Now, RPK, his turn to step into the limelight here. No one to throw a flashbang for him. Instead, he just plays reactively and off for the contact of Shox. It's enough to get both of the kills for Vitality. And now match point lies with them. They're looking to try and take us the distance here. And if they get this next round, then they will.
Harry, you brought the Kriegs up earlier. I'd love to see Astralis buy it up in this round, right? It's the last one of at least this half. So regardless of what happens, Vitality can't pick them up unless they do it mid-round, which isn't really a worry. But they go for 4 AKs and an AWP, you know? I understand wanting to move away from those guns, but it would be a crime to deny they're better. And when you're looking to win, surely you want to go to what works. That being said, there's something to be said for being comfortable, and the AKs certainly provide that.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, there will be AKs dropped in spawn. I think someone must have made the call, because Astralis did buy 4 AKs with an AWP, but they've upgraded 3 of them. 3 Kriegs, and the right call to make as we hit the last round here.
It's very telling how strong this gun is, and this is how teams are having to play around it. Because you're not denying yourself the best weapon. It's not about being admirable. It's about not putting it in the hands of these CTs. And already one of these Kriegs is going to roar to life in the opening segments of this round, finding an opener there onto Apex.
I actually love the idea that, you know, that Astralis do this. I've always wondered why teams, especially on like CT sides of Train, for example, don't buy the auto sniper at the end of the first half, or the end of the half rather, on the last round, because, you know, no one can pick it up, and it's just so good. So they're doing that with the Krieg, I guess.
And what could be the last round of the half? RPK finding himself at the barrels. He's going to drop a smoke towards Monster Tunnel. Bide some more time here for the Vitality side. Astralis going to be out of town. All and tail back towards T-spawn. At least with the bomb zip. He's going to hang around, just see if perhaps he can find a one-off kill. But the rest of Astralis has made their way towards Fountain, just past the playground, and are looking towards long. Resmoke for the B Monster Tunnel. They don't have it cleared. Vitality still holding on to what they've got. Just a man down. ZywOo tries to take a shot. Jump spotting here from the inside of the A site. He's going to drop a Molotov.
I still have a feeling this is B, though. Yeah, I think it is. Astralis is dropping down. They've thrown that close smoke to deny information for Vitality, but they're still walking into the stack. Vitality haven't fallen for this fake. They have 3 players on lower. So Astralis, 15 seconds. They've got to get the kills, and they've got to get them now, or are heading to nuke. RPK lining them up and knocking them down. It's 3 for him. Shox joins the party, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 3rd map. We're going the distance here for the final day of this group stage for ESL Pro League. Season 11, Vitality take Overpass away from Astralis. What a game, what a series this is, and it's not even over. Join us after the break for the final map of the night.